AlanCoxShow.com. You can watch live there. iHeartRadio app. Tell me where you're listening if you're doing it from out of state to know where our bureau chiefs are. I'm going to have Terry the Goat's Week 18 video, by the way. I think it's the last week for this. Last week of NFL football. Terry the Goat, we missed a couple of weeks. She has her own YouTube channel, which, if you haven't looked into it, Terry the Goat. Al Marcinek runs Marcinek Farms out in Carlton, Pennsylvania. He's our bureau chief out there. And Terry the Goat has picked our games for the last few weeks. So he sends me the video of her choosing on Wednesdays, and then we'll get her last picks on Thursdays. This Sunday, by the way, going to do a Cox Out in an unprecedented fashion. See, the weather jammed up what was going to be the last Cox Out pregame. It was Christmas Eve morning when all that weather came through. So we're doing the last Cox Out as a watch party. It's Browns Steelers. And we're still going to do it at the Ivy, there with Bud Light. We're going to be there from 1 to 3, if you can join us. Browns are in Pittsburgh at, what is it now, Acrisure Stadium? The old Heinz Field?
Worcestershire.
Stadium there. And so we're going to do a watch party, but it is going to be your very last chance to get that trip to the Bahamas, too. We've been playing finger football with Bud Light all season long for the Cox Out pre-games. And so we've never done one for an away game. But these are the finals for the finger football. So you'll have, if you haven't competed yet, it'll be the last chance for you to do that. And then we're going to have our finalists down there as well. So come hang with me on Sunday, 1 to 3. It's going to be the last Cox Out of the season. Watch party Brown Steelers at the Ivy, which is right down the street from us here. West 6th and Lakeside. Sunday afternoon. I'll see you there.
I was filling in for you a couple weeks ago, and one of my daughter's childhood friends is one of the girls working behind the bar. I was like, hey, I know you. And she recognized me, and she's like, we caught up a little bit, and she asked how my daughter's doing. I'm like, oh, I just saw her last night. She came out to my show at the Agora for her birthday, and it's like adorable, but also like at the same time, you see people like gawking over her. I'm like,
yeah, she's
not
got
that one. I know that one.
Yeah.
Like under boob and hot pants.
Yeah.
Does it ever make you feel weird for dating younger girls?
Why do you always think I date like these younger
Not
girls?
like 20, but like they're still like 10 years younger than you sometimes.
Yeah, but that's 30.
But that's
I
30.
guess.
That's not young.
Like, that's
Someone's daughter.
Yeah, they're all someone. Yeah, but they don't know it.
I guess.
No, I mean, like my current girlfriend's 5 years younger than me. The only one that was really significantly younger than me that I dated for an extended period of time was the one before this, where she was like 10 years younger than me.
You know better!
Not that one, the butthole one.
Butthole girl was significantly younger.
She was 10
Well,
years
I
younger
think
than
she
me.
just turned 30.
10 years, that's nothing. My wife's 10 years younger.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
This guy.
I'm talking dating 15, 16 years younger. That's the way to do
Right,
it.
Mary always likes to brag, like, oh, you love dating younger girls. I'm like, well,
Yes.
I also dated older
We've
girls.
talked about this before, though.
I was married to a woman that's older than me. I've dated other women that have been older than me.
The only people who get mad at guys dating younger women are older women.
I'm only 33. I'm not an older woman.
Well, you ain't
Yeah.
22.
Exactly. Older woman.
I'm not mad.
And you and Brian are age appropriate, right?
Yeah, he's 36. I'm 33.
Yeah. So he's pushing 40. You're pushing.
He just turned 36.
So what? He's pushing 40.
I
once
guess.
you once you cross
he's in
the
his late 30s.
that's
sure.
pushing 40. Once you cross the 35 Rubicon, you're pushing 40.
Okay.
You're pushing 35, Missy.
That doesn't bother me. We've been over this 100 times.
I
And
know, you
always
say that now.
When you get fat and old and wrinkly, you're going to change.
I've never said that.
He never
I
said wrinkly.
said no. I've never said that because not everybody gets fat. Everybody gets old if you're lucky.
Yeah.
But not everybody gets fat.
No, it doesn't
I'm
bother
not seeing
me
you
at all.
getting fat. Right. Everybody says it doesn't bother them when they're
doesn't.
32 and 33 because it
You
shouldn't.
said that when I was 29, though, when you were like, you're
Well.
going to turn 30. And I'm like, I don't care. And you're like, you're going to care.
All right. Well, maybe I still had Erica on the brain. She had a real hard time turning 30.
She had a hard
Cody,
time
yeah.
turning 30.
Yeah.
Doesn't bother me. My younger sister's struggling. She turns 30 in March.
I mean,
and she's like, I don't know what's going to happen in my life. I'm like, bro, it's really, really not a big deal.
Yes, it
like,
is.
no, it isn't.
It is for Poundcake because
Why?
gay 30
Gay's
is
different.
straight 50.
Yeah, she has 2 kids and fiance.
Right. Who's she
I'm
trying to
saying.
impress?
Being 30 don't matter.
Right. She's out of the game.
She's Cleveland 25.
Yeah, like, honestly.
Only 2?
When you turn 30 and you're gay, like, especially in a town like this, your options immediately slice in half. Like, not even like in half, but just like you have such a smaller pool because some people don't even set their filters on their Grindr profile. Like, 29 and younger. That's literally what they'll go for, 18 to 29.
I'm black, and I'm gay.
So I don't even get a chance to play ball.
Well, that's because you need to be the young buck in the relationship, which means you have to go into the guys around my age.
All of my
They're
boyfriends,
established. They've got money. They have a career. You are the young guy.
Yeah, I am.
You can't be trying to date 19-year-olds. You're not a zaddy.
No,
you got to be the young guy.
I bang 19-year-olds, or I bang someone in their 20s, but I don't think I've.
But that's not what we're talking about.
I know, but all my boyfriends have been older than me. My first boyfriend was 28. My other boyfriend was like 36. And the other one was almost 40. So they have all been older than me. And they all lasted like a couple months.
Right, but if they're 36 and you're 30, you're not the young guy. I mean, what did I just say? 11, 12,
Yes.
15 years. That makes you the young guy.
When I was 22, I hooked up with a guy who was 45. It was just a one-night stand.
Was
but
it
it was not. It was like,
And that's not old.
well,
That's a
it's
big
not
age
old.
difference.
It's a big age difference, and I was used to banging 22-year-old college guys. I was used to hooking up with dudes my age. So when this like,
Who half the time don't know what they're doing anyway.
not even the sex stuff, I was shocked at his body. I
Oh,
was
it
like,
was like
this is like a
everything
man,
saggy?
not saggy, but not well kept.
Well, that's
It
on
was-
him. That's not on all guys that are.
I know not all guys
Yeah.
that are
So
older,
it wasn't tight.
but he was 23 years older than me.
Right.
And it kind of just happened, and it was impulsive. We were both drunk, and then,
Why were the lights on?
well, we were laying there after, and I was like, "Oh, I gotta go. This is
Yeah,
not
but
what
that's
I
how. But
wanted."
that's not an age thing. Everybody feels that way after it happens. They're
Yeah.
like, I got to get the hell out of here. I mean,
We were out drinking, and he knew I was a comic, and he goes, I was like brand new in comedy. He goes, "You want to go back to my hotel room and watch Saturday Night Live?"
that is such an old guy thing
And I
to
was like,
say.
"Sure, whatever."
I would never say that. You want to go back and watch? Oh God.
We watched like 5 seconds of it before he mounted me and started kissing me. And I was like, "Yeah, this is what."
was
watch
hosting?
Saturday Night.
Oh
I don't
man.
remember.
Who was hosting? I'll
don't
tell you what.
remember.
That cold.
Musical guest.
Yeah. That cold open really gets him hot.
I don't remember the oldest guy I hooked up with.
He's
He
like,
had
you know, if this had a better host and musical guest, then we wouldn't have done anything. It was just because it was like, musical guest, Cowboy Junkies, and your host, Jeff Fahey. I don't know.
Okay.
Cowboy Junkies, Jeff Fahey. Don't sleep on that.
I hope I'm a good-looking 50. I hope I'm a
That's
guy.
up to,
you
that's
dead
up to
35?
you. That's up to you. The Ouija board says you die at 35. If the Ouija board's correct, you won't even have to come close to worrying about that.
Yeah.
But also, as I
what's-
understand it, African American does not split. Is that the phrase?
That's yep.
But I don't know what
You'll be fine.
I don't know what false prophet I'm supposed to believe because the fortune teller in Jamaica said I'm gonna have a really long life, but the Ouija board said I'm gonna.
Well, who was asking for money and who wasn't? We weren't asking you
I
for
didn't
money.
pay him.
Yeah, but he got paid.
No.
He got paid by the.
Did you have to?
result.
Who paid for the Ouija board?
It's up to you how
I did.
good you look at 50.
And I'm a very spiritual person, and I have a direct connection to the other side. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that about
Nobody
me.
knows that.
Everybody knows that about Bill Squire. Is that
That's
he's,
right.
Very into the mystic arts.
The mystic arts.
And very in tune with the netherworld or whatever they call it.
The nether regions?
Oh, that too.
Yeah, that too.
Oh God.
I heard you talking about me, Poundcake.
I wasn't talking about you at all. I didn't mention you not once.
What's the matter, baby? Why aren't you talking about me?
Because I was trying to have a good New Year, a Zen New Year, and I wasn't thinking about you at all, Ghostback.
You didn't think about me one time.
Not once.
Sucker.
People were sending me pictures of you around town,
Yeah,
being a
that's
hussy.
right. That's right. I wasn't being a hussy.
You were. They would send me pictures of you like in a back alley somewhere, or like near a dumpster, passed out.
That wasn't me, that was my cousin. That was my cousin Bag. He's still alive. He's out there in the streets.
Is your dad named Baghdad?
Shut up, Poundcake, you son of a bitch.
Come on.
How dare you talk about my daddy that way? I just want to let you know I missed you over the holidays, even if you didn't miss me.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it.
Was that a little crying?
Yeah, I was like, what is that?
Yeah, I'm crying a little bit, because I missed you, Poundcake.
Well, you don't have a normal ghost cry? Like, ghosts are always, like, upset about something. It's usually like a moan, not a cry.
What the hell is a normal ghost cry? What does that even mean? That's more of a moan, you dummy.
Okay.
I cry like... That's my cry. Okay. All of a sudden, you don't like my cry.
No, it just sounds like something's wrong with my car. Like
Something is wrong with your car, dummy. You got stuff hanging off the front.
I do.
Why don't you just tear that off and get on with your day?
I'm trying.
Anyway, even if you didn't miss me, I missed you. I took time off when you were gone because I didn't want to mess around with anybody else who was out there. I will say, I'm disappointed at how little wacky was going on over the break.
I was really busy. Ghost bag.
No, it was too busy for me.
You always seem to insert yourself in things where you're not invited to.
Yeah,
So.
I do, baby. You got it. I'm only insert myself into something.
Okay, well then you don't need me. You don't need an invite.
Yeah, I do. You know I like seeing you around.
Okay, whatever, Ghost bag. Just don't cry again.
I gotta go, but
Bye.
guess what? The Ouija board's right. Later, sucker.
Bye.
Weird. Hey, you can leave us messages on the iHeartRadio app. There's a little talk back button there if you'd like to do that. We're happy to hear them.
You know what you guys didn't do this year, which to me has been a tradition every Christmas? Alan didn't talk about his hatred of Mannheim Steamroller. And they were just playing it in one of your ads on the radio, so it popped in my head. Man, I really wish that Alan would talk about his hatred of Mannheim Steamroller. So, if you got a few minutes, I at least do the impression, because it makes me crack up all the time.
What's the impression?
I have no idea.
Man, well, I don't think that I
Make the
make
noise with
fun
your
of
mouth.
well, the
Maybe that's what she's doing.
yeah, deck the halls. Well, yeah, the story I've told is that when I was in college, my girlfriend at the time, her parents played Mannheim Steamroller. They had a speaker system throughout their house. And they would play Mannheim Steamroller from Thanksgiving Day to New Year's Day. And so...
And you didn't like that.
No! I mean, it's not like I was living there. But we'd go out a couple times out in the suburbs, and we'd go out there to her parents' house a couple of times. I'm trying to be a cool guy, trying to ingratiate myself.
Were
with...
your nipples pierced at the time?
They were not. No, that was after.
Okay.
No, I was probably a junior in college, and she was a freshman.
So your team, Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
No, this was way before Trans-Siberian.
I know, but
But
I'm
now-
saying now.
No, I don't like any of this stuff.
What do you like?
Like one or the other. You can't,
Michael Bublé?
No, I don't like any of that stuff.
You don't listen to Christmas music at all?
No.
oh, I listen
I don't
to
believe that. Even when you're like decorating the tree.
You don't
or, like-
believe that I don't
I'm
listen
saying
to
it's
Christmas
not on
music.
in the house, like for the kid or any.
All we ever listen to, if something's on, because none of us like it, John Denver and the Muppets album.
Oh my god!
Good album.
It's a great album.
You know what my boyfriend turned me on to? August Burns Red Christmas. It is metal Christmas,
Oh.
and because there's no word. Hey, hey! I'm trying to stop.
August Burns
Dude,
Red.
I'm telling you.
Stop.
Because
Mannheim
there's-
Steamroller.
Yeah!
That's Mannheim steamrolling over his bit.
That's
Listen,
right.
Because there's no words, I actually really enjoy it because like the musical part of metal music isn't bad, and it's Christmas songs, and they're not really singing; they just do the melodies.
What's the point of doing the melodies if you're a band? If you're a metal band, what's the
Not
point of just
all-
doing the music?
Not all of the songs don't have words, but some of them don't. I liked it. I really enjoyed it.
Okay, well,
I was
good.
surprised.
Good. Okay, I got you. That's another one of those bands that got out of middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania. We got to get the hell. We got
Do
to
they
get
call
real.
themselves a different thing for their Christmas album? Because the
August Burns Red.
yeah, it'd be like December Burns Green and Red.
I make that joke all the time at home. I was like, "Oh, you play like October Burns Blue or
Oh boy.
My favorite is when I took my daughter to Rock on the Range one year, and she was excited to see Bring Me the Horizon. And I'm like, hey, when does Go Get the Sunset come out?
Shut up.
But she got a picture with them, so she had to take the dad jokes.
Yeah. That's all right. Anyway, if that's what you mean, a person left us the message. I don't do that every year, I don't think. But that's where that
Well, there you
comes
go.
from. That's where
You
that
got
comes
it.
from, yes. Mannheim Steamroller. I don't even know if they're still around.
I think they are.
Are they?
Yeah, I think she said she heard an ad for them.
Yeah, okay. Well, I didn't know if she heard an ad that used their music or an ad for them. They've been around since 1974. Jesus. Yes, they are still around. The name, there was a band, like maybe a quartet of people who sang many, many years ago. They were called the Manhattan Transfer, and it always makes me think about that. Mannheim Steamroller Christmas Tour. Okay, so they are still around. They all got to be like 80 years old. Yeah, when Trans-Siberian Orchestra came through, they all came out of this metal band from the 80s from Tampa called Sabotage. And these guys were like, yeah, things aren't going so great. We got guys coming in and out of this band. Let's do something different. And I think just like as a goof or as something to do, they did a Christmas thing, and it blew up. And so now it's a huge, TSO is a huge, huge thing. But I've never seen either of those bands live. My experience with Mannheim Steamroller just comes from the fact that my girlfriend at the time, her family would play that incessantly. And it wasn't like, you know, back in the days, early 90s. So it wasn't like you were streaming Mannheim Steamroller. They had speakers all throughout their house from a central stereo. And so they were playing Mannheim Steamroller CDs. Or CD, by the way. It wasn't like greatest hits of Christmas. It was a CD. And I'm like, I would say to her, do your parents listen to this all the time? Because we weren't living there. You know, we were at school. Her parents are out in the suburbs. I go, do they listen to this all the time? Or do they just play it as a goof when I come here? Because I thought I had, you know, made kind of a not a snarky comment, but like goofing around. I was like, oh, Mannheim Steamroller. I'm like, do they either play it because they're goofing on me when I show up? Or are they playing it because they think that me mentioning it was an imprimatur, like I like them, and they're doing that for me? And she goes, they just like Mannheim Steamroller. I'm like, wow, it's amazing. Because, like, I don't even hear them in stores anymore. But my girlfriend's family loved them. And now I feel like I have to go see them or something. Next Christmas. That's going to be my Polar Blast punishment. Is going on tour with Mannheim Steamroller.
We can make it happen.
Not going
right?
to see them, going on tour.
You be their roadie, loading in.
Yup. You see that Skip Bayless Shannon Sharp clip?
Oh, man.
Mm-hmm.
I've hated Skip Bayless for a very long time.
But he's just a troll, right? Like,
But
it's,
and I
in
don't get
sports,
why
you need
that's-
those guys.
I hate that they use that as a way to get ratings. And I can't believe people pay attention to him, that he has a job, that he's had a job for as long as he's had it, because it's the thinnest veiled, worst takes, and it's just so boring to me. And he's been around forever, and I can't understand why anybody tunes into that show, because I've never, any show that he's on, I do not watch it. And I don't even like watching, and like I won't even look at these clips. I have him muted on everything because I just can't stand the dude.
So you're going to get mad when I play this clip.
I mean, I know what's going on, and I even without knowing what's going on, I know exactly what it's about because he's that predictable.
Well, Shannon Sharp played for a long time. Skip Bayless there on this show over on Fox Sports called Undisputed. And I guess Skip Bayless had tweeted something about what's this going to mean for after the Demar Hamlin thing happened. He simply tweeted, "What's this going to mean for the rest of the season?" And boy,
No,
did
not that's not what he said.
Well, I'm paraphrasing.
But it's important to put it into the phrasing that he said. He said, yes, this is sad about Demar Hamlin, but they have to finish this game. And that was his emphasis. He's like,
he was coming at it from an administrative standpoint.
From the game is
and
more important.
Everybody thought he should have been like weeping copious tears over the. Anyway,
well,
Shannon,
when something that
I understand
ridiculous happens,
but not everybody's going to feel that way,
right? But he knows exactly what he's doing because he knew that it was just going to get everybody riled up. And you don't have to say that in that moment. There's this dude, his heart stopped on the field. Don't worry about the football game at that moment.
There's been a lot of speculation of why I wasn't on air yesterday, and I won't get into speculation or conjecture or innuendo, but I will say this. In watching that game on Monday night, what happened to Damar Hamlin struck me a little different. As a brotherhood in the NFL, when injuries happen, when we know injuries are a part of the game, I've seen guys suffer ACLs and Achilles tear, but I've never seen anybody have to be revived and fight for their life on the field. So it struck me a little differently because I remember seeing my brother paralyzed on the field temporarily, and he was able to regain focus. Skip tweeted something, and although I disagree with the tweet, and hopefully Skip would take it down, but I didn't want it.
Well, time out. I'm not going to take it down because I stand by what I tweeted.
Skip, let me finish.
All right, okay.
Go ahead.
No, you go.
Go ahead, let's go, Jen.
Okay.
I mean, I cannot even get through a monologue without you interrupting me.
Well,
you could have came back, Skip.
Well, I thought,
Skip, just let.
I didn't know you were going to bring up.
No,
this.
I was just going to say, Skip. I didn't want to yesterday to get into a situation where Damar Hamlin was the issue. We should have been talking about him and not get into your tweet. That's what I was going to do. But you can't even let me finish my opening monologue without you interrupting.
Okay. I was under the impression you weren't going to bring this up because nobody here had a problem with that tweet.
No. Clearly, the bosses wanted you to offer explanations. So clearly, somebody.
No, they did not have. Nobody.
Let's go, Jen.
Thoughts and prayers remain with Damar Hamlin.
They got to throw back to the girl. Okay, anyway, thoughts and prayers. Well, anyway, they went at it over the Skip Bayless tweet, I guess, which I had to look up. I didn't even see it. I don't follow the guy. But everybody was freaking out about And Shannon Sharp is a ball player, so obviously he's going to take it a different way. By the way, I do love, if you read tweets about Damar Hamlin, you'll see a lot of the people on social media who are the first ones after a school shooting to be like, it's not the time for politics.
Right.
Immediately went to, his heart attack was because of the COVID vaccine.
Oh, God.
I mean, this didn't happen in his living room on a Tuesday. It happened after he got slammed in the chest in a football game. And that blame the vaccine clock, by the way, ran out so long ago. Some people are still hanging on to that for dear life,
It's
boy.
festering. It was just sitting in there.
I got to take a break. I'll have another $1,000 for you at 3:30 for you to go fund yourself. And I'll also have tickets for you coming back if you want to get yourself over to the Progressive Cleveland Boat Show. I'll have a 4-pack of tickets for you. It is the 13th through the 15th out at the IX Center. So we'll do those coming back. 35192 if you want.